everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast, a show about board games and the people who play them. So in this show, we have a lot to talk about with board games. We just finished our Dice Tower Kickstarter, and assuming that $100,000 of pledges wasn't lost in the last 8 hours, because I'm recording this before it's over, then we funded it. Hooray! And a big thank you to all who did that. We also finished a Dice Tower cruise, so that's exciting. That means we turn our sights to what comes ahead. So first of all, lots of videos, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on in this video itself, but also Dice Tower West, less than a month away, and then Dice Tower East. Sign up for Dice Tower East. You're going to hear all kinds of good things about the cruise and the library there. That same library is going to be at Dice Tower East. So with that being said, we're also running a contest. So on Friday, we did a live playthrough of Runelords, the game, or the Runelords game. And you can find more about that. We'll have a link in the description here. The Kickstarter for that went live. We're going to have a contest. Email us at email us at contests@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, just put Runelords, one word. And then in the body, give us your address so we know where to send the game, and the name of one of the Runelords from the campaign. You can go check out the campaign. And they're going to be giving out 4 of these playmats. There's one for each of the Runelords. You can pick any of the 4 if you're a winner, and 4 different people will win. We're going to announce those pretty soon. We'll announce them on Twitter by Wednesday, so get on board that. Alrighty, lots of stuff to talk about. Here we go. So what did I find on the internet this week? Well, you know, this is a kind of an interesting thing here. I found on Reddit, someone who made a flowchart for Cosmic Encounter. Now, Cosmic Encounter, I just played it last week, actually, and had a great time doing it. And when I play Cosmic Encounter, I know the game really well, and I'll talk everyone through each turn. You do this, we do this, we do this. And when I looked at this flowchart, it kind of brings it to my mind just how complex some games are. You realize all the decision processes, and if someone does this, then do this. Then if someone does that, do that. But anyway, if you have thought Cosmic is confusing, there's the chart. You can print it out, both the normal Cosmic Encounter or if you're playing with techs, which are included in the base game. It is still a fantastic and great game, and I'm not saying this flowchart makes it any better or any worse, but I mean, I still think it's a great game. But it does make me think sometimes you play a game so much that the complexity of that game gets lost in you, and you think it's quite simple. Interesting thing, I wonder if more games need flowcharts. Who knows? Let's keep moving.
Fan of Wingspan? What does the Wingspan European expansion bring? Coming up. Hi, it's Stella. We're a fan of Wingspan. I mean, who doesn't? Okay, maybe some don't like it, but that's fine. Everyone has their own taste in game. So Wingspan European expansion, it doesn't change the core mechanics in the game, still streamline play of the blue building game. It brings more bed cards with different powers, more round tiles, and bonus end of game objective cards. I'm gonna share you my favorite and least favorite edition. My favorite is the bed cards that occupy 2 spaces instead of 1. Boom! Helps a lot when I'm trying to build more powerful action on a specific row. My least favorite is the take that bed cards that steal food from opponents. It does add more interactions between players, but not in the way that I would favor. Maybe because I'm used to the base game too much, nor need to worry about someone else stealing my food. A special mention is the percentage on bonus secret objective cards. They are keeping the numbers still correct with the addition of the new bread cards. So although the deck is bigger, the chances you are getting the cards that you want is still similar. I think that's pretty cool. The other nice additions are the teal colored banner cards. Not only I like the color teal, they give you bonus at the end of the round, extra resources for example. Well, thanks for watching. We are on the Dice Tower How to Play videos and Meeple University on YouTube. See you next time.
So what's being added to the library this week? Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the library. The library is in flux right now. It was on the Dice Tower Cruise, and now it's being sent to Dice Tower West. It's on the way. It's traveling to Dice Tower West as we speak. Getting the library onto the ship, we did a video of us putting this stuff together on pallets, and if you saw the video, you'll see that it was quite a bit of work, and it did not turn out as well as we had hoped. The stuff getting on the ship, very problematic. The pallets did not work well. The ship gave us incorrect information. And long story short, all the games are safe, but the shelves, some of them got beat up, and stuff is going to get fixed. The games also got beat up. We had 800 plus people on the cruise, and the games were played a lot. And many, many games were missing pieces. Many of those games, most of those games, were not missing pieces at the beginning of the cruise. It's just normal wear and tear, and I could sit there and tear my hair out and say people need to be more careful, but the simple fact of the matter is it just happens, right? So, a couple games really took a beating. Some games, just the rule books took a beating. Some games we realized we need duplicates of, and that's something I'm working on right now. Also, once we get to Dice Tower West, we're going to be combining with the leftover games from Dice Tower West libraries. So maybe another two. We have 20 shelves. This may be another 2 whole shelves worth of games that we're going to be adding in. So the day before Dice Tower West, we're going to be jumping in and going through all these games. And you'll see over the next several weeks more games that come in here, and we'll be heading out there for the library itself. But this was the first major stress test that the library had. It survived. Most of the response that I've gotten has been good. We found some holes, some things that need to be fixed. Some people donated games. We got donated a game of Battlestar Galactica. We got donated a game of Glory to Rome, Black Box Edition. That's kind of really cool stuff. And, there's still some holes that we're missing, but like I said, we're trying to get all this stuff taken care of. And the library has survived part 1. We'll see how part 2 happens in a month.
Hey everyone, Nick from Mental Health Minute, and I'm here to talk about brain burn. What is brain burn? Brain burn is when you're playing a game and you look at all the things you're doing and all the things you could be doing, and you see all the different options and your brain starts moving. It's not a headache, it's more when you're saying, wow, this feels intense, and you can really feel the stimulation in your brain. That doesn't always mean you're enjoying the experience. Some people could be playing and be so overwhelmed that they get brain burn and they just can't handle what's in front of them, and it's too much. There are some games like that for me, like Twilight Imperium, for example. I can't play that game. I just can't, because I look at all these things and all the stuff going on and the theme, and I get overwhelmed and it creates brain burn that I just don't enjoy. But then games like Terraforming Mars, Great Western Trail, other heavy Euros of that level, that I'm like, yeah, brain burn, and you feel it in your brain, but you're enjoying the decisions you're making, and you leave and you're like, yeah, that was a great time. I loved when you did this. When I did this, it was cool. And you think about it afterwards, and it gives you a real good stimulation from the experience you had. The biggest brain burn I probably have is Imaginarium. And that's not even a heavy game, not heavy on rules. It's very lightweight. But when I'm playing and the choices I make, I'm like, oh, that does that, which leads to this, and then this, perfect. And you just feel like you accomplished something. And it gives you that good sense of gaming that you had. And there's no other feeling like it. Do you have brain burn often? Some people don't have it at all. It is something to experience, though. What game gives you the most brain burn in general? And do you like that game? Let me know in the comments below. Do enjoy your breakfast.
What an exciting week this is going to be. So we got a Q&A coming up later today, but this Thursday we're going to have a special guest on Board Game Breakfast, Rodney Smith from Watch It Played, and he'll be doing our top 10 games with us, our top 10 anticipated games of 2020. I know that it's the first week of February, but none of these games have come out yet. This gives us a chance to look ahead and tell you what we're excited about. Then on Friday, we have a live playthrough of Enchanters, and from Mythic Games, Sam Healy will be joining us and playing a game, so that'll be kind of exciting to see Sam back here on the Dice Tower. And reviews. I know we've done a few less reviews over the past several weeks, but that's over with. We're back. I'll be reviewing Isle of Cats. I'll be taking a look at the new Villainous expansion and a few other games as the week goes by. Me and Z and our contributors are doing stuff, so stay tuned for all that. Lots of stuff going on. We'll see you there.
Hi guys, I am Randy.
I'm Ellen. We'll be game together. Another call. Which pile is the keep and which is the get rid of?
This is even. Why? We're getting rid of too many games,
We are absolutely not. Okay? We are not.
We're getting rid of too many.
Let's start with this pile this time.
I'm
going to start adding to it if you don't get started.
This
right?
is the sell pile. Ellen absolutely hates that game.
I hate that game.
I think it's fun, and I don't think she ever gave it a fair shake.
I played it 3 times and I loathed it every time.
Yeah, well, you're weird.
Next.
Dual Quest. We're getting rid of this?
Cute and fun. Randy, we have not touched that game in like 2 years.
Though.
Do they? They don't even know it exists.
Yeah, they played it. Well.
Okay, next.
That one brings a tear. Captain Sonar.
That one was hard. We actually just switched it from here to the weeks ago.
You really need at least 6, and they need to be experienced.
That's
and we don't
what
have
it is.
We don't have a play group that wants to play it enough.
We had not played it in, I think, 2 years.
Maybe we'll play it on conventions and things like that.
Yeah, I think we're going to
pull it
try
out
to
of a
play
library somewhere. Pictomania is actually one we've never played. Honestly, we just don't grab it when we need a party game. Hop.
Horrible.
Horrendous.
Hated it.
Gosh, this game
Oh my
sucks.
gosh, it's so bad. It's silly fun where you're doing stuff like jumping on one foot and like chucking a thing across the room, and like, it's just
There's a couple of the challenges that our kids liked.
Overall, I think our kids had a decent time. They've never asked to play it again. It induced a lot of fighting,
You're
actually.
out of my life, Hop.
It induced a lot of fighting.
Rapid response. Actually, we didn't buy this one that long ago, and we haven't played it yet, so that one's definitely staying in.
Yeah, never play it.
Castles of Burgundy.
This is the actual game that got me into the hobby. Actual one.
That actual copy.
And we have everything for it, so we ain't getting rid of it.
And we have the anniversary edition, but honestly, I'm just not going to be able to get rid of it. We have everything for it.
Architects. It's so good, and I really want to play it again.
It's fantastic, and once the expansion comes out, I'm going to love it more. Guaranteed.
Teo. Oh, come on now. I love Teotihuacan.
Yeah, this one's good. This one's heavy. We don't play it a lot, but with the expansion, it's very cool.
Wreck Raiders is a fantastic game. We just live streamed it.
Awesome family game.
It was a hoot and a half. I haven't said that in a while. One and one half hoots is what it was. I love that game. So many ways to score. So pretty, even if it's a little creepy.
Perfect family game, honestly. It's a great family weight game. Lots to do. Lots of little mechanics in there. It's a great way of introducing a lot of those mechanics into a bigger game.
It's good.
That is the call number 3. We'll see you.
Bye.
Hi folks, my name is Andy and welcome to Potable Gaming, a show about games which are fun to play in pubs and cafes. So today I'm going to take you on a journey and we're going to map that journey together in the fantastic flip and write game Cartographers, the latest entry in the role player universe, which is a surprisingly interesting universe that keeps growing and growing. In this game it is a standard flip and write, so instead of rolling dice you are flipping cards and then drawing what you get on the card on your map to try and get the best points. But there are a few interesting little systems in play that make this a little bit more meaty and more crunchy experience than your average roll and write. One of the major things is the edict system, so there are 4 cards out on the table which will be scored in different seasons. Each round is a different season which comes a different combination of scoring cards. So each round, you'll have a different scoring criteria that you're trying to meet alongside the different shapes that you're getting in there, or tetromino shapes you've got to draw through. There's also the option to try and score additional rounds. There are cards which mean you've got to draw them in a specific location, making it more difficult to get the things you want to do, especially when they combat with the different kinds of scoring cards you have. There's also the ambush cards, in which once one of those is drawn, you pass your sheet to somebody else and they have to draw monsters on there, which can take points away from you. There are so many little ways to score extra points or lose points or combo points into new experiences. It makes it a really interesting little experience, and there are so many scoring cards available. Each game's going to be different, and I really like that. In terms of portability, it's really good. It just needs a space to put the cards out in the front and flip those over. It is a paper, pad and pencils job, which I'm always a bit reluctant of. That being said, with the size of the boxes and the kind of things you've got to draw, it might be more difficult with dry ripe. I'm not sure. I might laminate a few and try it. But even then, we played this for the first time in a pub and we had a really good time with it. And I think you could too. If you like roll and write games or flip and write games and you want something a little bit more in-depth with a little bit more going on under the hood, I can definitely recommend Cartographers. Anyway, thanks very much folks. I've been Andy, and it's your round.
So I thought I'd talk real quickly here about Picard. This is a new TV show from CBS, which is a direct sequel of sorts to Star Trek Next Generation, which was out when I was a kid. In fact, Jean-Luc Picard, or Patrick Stewart, the actor who played them, was not that much older than me when it first came out, which is a really weird thing to start with. In this TV show, he is a very old man who's retired from Starfleet, and it doesn't look to be the most positive of things, but he's kind of just letting life go by, and then events catch up with him. And at least, so I'm just as a heads up, I'm only talking about episode 1. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. I enjoy Star Trek. I really liked Star Trek Next Generation. Deep Space Nine I liked a bit. Some of the movies I enjoyed. I enjoyed the new movie reboots. I've enjoyed some of the original stuff. I've seen it here and there. I'm not a Trekkie by any means. I don't know a single word in Klingon. I don't know the name of half the characters, and I make fun of people who do sometimes. Jokingly and lovingly. But so I kind of went into like, well, let's see how it works, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. I did not know necessarily all the implications, although the final reveal at the end of episode 1 was A, not a surprise to me, and B, even if you don't know a lot about Star Trek, I think you might get it. But the action, the sequences were all really well done. The acting was phenomenal. Patrick Stewart, I've always thought he's a great actor, from Professor X to, Picard, to the many other things that he's been involved with. And all this comes together to make a really gripping story, to the point where I'm going to be watching this on a weekly basis. I'm very interested to see where it goes. I look forward to seeing maybe some familiar faces as time goes by, but the new faces also seem to be just as good. So it's a lot of fun so far. We'll see what happens. That's what I think of Picard.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Yes, You Can Paint right here on Board Game Breakfast. I'm Brian Drake. So, last week we took a look at base coating. Now, that's a difficult step because it doesn't feel like you're doing much of anything. It feels like you're just putting color onto the miniature, and it can still look flat. So today, if your confidence was dropped last week, your confidence is going to be boosted this week by the magic that is washing. We're going to take a couple different washes today. We're going to mix them together, just a couple brushfuls of each. We're going to paint them lightly over the figure, and it's just going to be magical. It's going to pop poof, into realism for your figure. So let's take a look at how this works right now. So when we wash figures, what we're looking to do is take the natural highlights that we have, we're going to tone them down a little bit and add some shadows to it. So we did a fantastic job highlighting up the trench coat already, but we're trying to actually take those shadows that we have there and wash them out with some or make some shadows appear that would naturally be there, but we're going to use paint instead of just relying on natural light. So we're going to do 2 shades today. We're going to look at the Agrax Earth shade and the Nuln Oil. Both of these are Citadel paints. We're going to mix these together, a little half and half, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put that just and lightly brush it over. I'll show you what that looks like right now. So we're going to take our 50-50 mixture. Now notice the zenithal highlights here on the back of his trench coat. We're going to take our 50-50 mixture of the Agrax Earth shade and the Nuln Oil. We're just going to brush it over this. Now look how it kind of pools in those recessed areas, and that's exactly what we want. That's the magic step. That's when your painting becomes so much more realistic, is when you get these washes down in those cracks. And the things that you couldn't reach with a brush, there's no way you'd be able to paint those individual shadows. Well, someone would probably say, of course you can, Brian. But look at that. It turns like magic. It just magically becomes more detailed. All of those creases and all of the folds that the model makers made when they sculpted this, they're all now coming to life and no longer look like just flat plastic. Now, one tip though is if you see the wash pooling up a little bit in some of the crevices, a little too much to where it's kind of looking like it's just overdone, you can then take your brush and just pull that out of there, and just by doing this, just pull it out. Just literally pull that color right back out of there. So you're going to put this on all those crevices, all those creases. Make sure you get everywhere, because if you don't, that's one problem with washes. If you do happen to miss a spot, it's very, very, very noticeable. Unlike, highlighting, if you miss a spot in highlighting, you can probably just come back later. I mean, you can come back later with this too, but it's very noticeable. But you notice now that we have all these wonderful recesses and shadows painted, and it just pops and comes to life so much more than it would have before. So that is how you wash a figure. So that's washing. That's all there is to it. Now you're going to let that dry, and then you can either have already highlighted or you can highlight up from here. Both are wonderful options, but it's so much easier and so much more magical now that you see it happen in front of your eyes. So thanks for watching. I'm Brian Drake. Enjoy breakfast.
What's up, everyone? My name is Melissa McCack, and this is Smashin' Buttons and Slammin' Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I want to talk about Soma. Soma is a psychological thriller video game where you are sort of thrown into this world. You don't know what's going on, why it's going on, why you're here, and it's just a whole mess of things, and it's very puzzly. You're going around, you're not quite sure where you are, and you're thinking, oh, there's this thing over here, maybe that has to do with that thing over there that unlocks something over there. It's really cool, and it's super immersive. I want to connect that to the Unlock series. So Unlock is sort of like, your escape the room type of board game. It's really cool. A lot of them I feel are very immersive, and I'm connecting it to Soma because of that puzzly nature where you're going around thinking, oh, there's this one object over here that might connect to this thing over here to unlock that. And it's awesome. I love puzzly games. I think so far my favorite of the series is the arcade version, or the arcade scenario. What I don't know what they're called, but I haven't tried the pirate one. I do want to try that because I think that I would really like that one too. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. You can check out mine and my brother's podcast called Room 51. I'll see you next time.
So we just got back from the Dice Tower Cruise. This is Dice Tower Cruise 4. It was bigger than ever before. We had 809 people who were part of the Dice Tower Go. And while it was not without its hiccups, the ship and us, there was a lot of just logistical things behind the scenes that people did not see. That there was more problems, I think, on this one than the 3 before it combined. But that being said, I think it went swimmingly well. I think that everyone, at least most of the people who came, had a really good time. And one of the things I like about it is it both has a sense of family, where you see people who've come on a cruise every time, greeting each other and having a good time, but we also had 400 people who had never been on a cruise before, and they left with a sense of feeling of friendship and camaraderie too. I've talked enough about the library. I'm not going to belabor that too much, but people did seem to enjoy the library. Gaming on a cruise ship, if you've never gone, is incredible, and just the places to play, and then just the things that you can do. You can go. We ate together. So one of the things I like about a cruise ship is we get together and you sit down and eat, and you already have something in common with everyone at the table. I ate off times with people every night. I tried to eat with different people. I didn't know who most of them were, and you meet them and learn about them, and it was fun. And I sit there with my family and their families, and we just had a good time. My kids think it's one of the best vacations they take over a year, and you always stop at a couple ports, and it's exciting to see a little bit of the world beyond our own. So it was a lot of fun, and one of the things that's very gratifying to me was to know I know it worked because we allowed people to sign up for the next cruise on the ship itself, and over 100 rooms immediately sold out. And so that's pretty cool. We're going to do it again next year in February of 2021. Tickets for that will go on sale probably later in March. We're right now pushing other things. We got Dice Tower East and Dice Tower Retreat. Registration will be opening up soon. But don't worry, there will be plenty of room for people to get on board. Not everything's going to sell out. But I'll tell you what, it did sell out this year, and I expect it to do again. We had great publishers come and support us. We did some of the best live game shows ever, and I'm not saying that because I ran them. I stepped back from the one, and it was just phenomenal. Ice Tower happened, the Ice Tower show, and the brothers Murph and Paula Deming were there. Just super fun. We got to see the first episode of Above Board, which people had a lot of fun with and enjoyed. And I'm telling you folks, if this is the way gaming is, this camaraderie, this fun, this fellowship, this friendship, I really look forward to seeing how the rest of 2020 is going to go. Now, if you missed out, like I said, we'll be opening up soon, but Dice Tower West is only a month away, and Dice Tower East, still plenty of time to sign up for that. It will be the same thing, just the hotel won't be rocking or moving. Had a great time. If you came on a cruise, I want to say a special thank you to you. Whenever I run these events, the people who come to them are the nicest, most wonderful people. And on the cruise, you guys saw me at my most tired, and were still nice and wonderful to me. And for that, I say thank you. Alrighty, well, enough gushing. Let's move on.
Hey everyone! Today on To Paint or Not to Paint, I'm going to take you through Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Hey everyone, Matt here from the Plastic Canvas, and welcome to Paint or Not to Paint, a series where I quickly take you through a game and then talk about whether I think it's worth spending the time to paint the miniatures in it or not. And today we're taking a look at Tainted Grail. This is a branching, story-based exploration game where players take on the role of characters that are definitely not the heroes as you explore the land of Avalon while the weirdness or the evil encroaches. So, is this game worth painting? Well, just to look at it, it seems like an obvious yes. The minis are amazing, the production quality is phenomenal, but I did find myself umming and ahhing about this one because it is so heavily focused on the story. I didn't know whether I would say a yes or a no, because painting this is different to painting a game like, say, Zombicide, which is so heavily focused on the gameplay. You're not there for the story at all. You definitely want to paint that so that the zombie minis actually look like zombies, so that you really feel like the horde is coming in to get you. But because this game is so heavily focused on the story, you know, painting the minis doesn't actually affect the story, so is it worth painting? Well, I couldn't really come to a decision on that, so I thought I'd look at it from a bit of a different angle. So what I would say is that if you are fairly new to painting and you're not that experienced, and you still need to build your skills up a little bit more, I would say a no for this. I would leave it and wait until you've gotten a bit more experience and you're a bit more confident, and you would like to treat this one as a bit of a challenge to see how you're going. If you are more experienced though and you have built up those skills and this looks like the sort of theme that you'd be interested in, go for it. These are the best minis that I've painted. These are the ones that I've had the most fun with because there are so many chances to do really cool effects. So like with the men here, you know, you've got the glowing candles. You can paint that soft glow onto the surfaces around there. You've got lots of chances to do things like that. So what I would say is if you are new to painting, I'd probably leave this one alone for the moment until you can properly do these minis justice. But if you do have some experience under your belt and this is a theme that you like, absolutely go for it. Totally worth it. So if you'd like to see the full review for this game, go check out the Dice Tower review. And if you'd like to see me painting minis, including Tainted Grail, go check out my channel, The Plastic Canvas. And I hope you enjoy your breakfast.
It's Dan and Sarah.
With Gaming with the People.
And we are here to talk about politics.
In the form of a board game, Watergate.
A great two-player game, I think.
Small footprint, but there's lots and lots to sink your teeth into. I mean, sometimes these smaller games, you're just like, all right, you know, there's so much going on here. It just feels like such a meaty game, and it's such a small package. 20 cards on each side.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of a more robust package.
I like a efficient, slim package.
That's not what you married.
I married a Nixon.
I am not a crook. I thrive when I play Nixon. No, I just counteract everything he does, and I find them easier.
You just hog those red tokens.
I do. I've got a lot of momentum as Nixon. Those momentum tokens, I'm on it.
Although, if you do want to comment down below, we have found that the Nixon player seems to be a little bit more powerful than the reporter player. So we'd be curious to see what your opinions are. Do you think the Nixon player is more powerful? I think your biggest complaint is that I do take my time with this game. I do get a little AP in this game, which it's just so important, the order you play the cards and deciding, are you going to go for evidence, one of those tokens, what are you going to do, trying to guess what they have, so there's a lot going on. And so it's very important the order you play the cards.
I don't like downtime.
That card they play is going to affect you. And so there's this tension of what are they going to play, what are they going to do with it. And so I don't mind the wait. I mean, you tend to be a faster player than me.
I'm an impulsive person in general, I would say. Comparatively, you have a lot more patience, and I like to just get in and get it. So that's the one difference here. I think this game suits your playing style more than mine.
But I love this game, and I'll have it the rest of my life.
I hope you love me more than you love this game. You'll have me for the rest of your life as well. Wow, see the thinking that happens with this man? Everything. There's a delay. There's a delay. So that's my concern. The delay with the game, not with your hesitation about our love. That's fine.
Well, you just never make me choose between you and games.
And that's it for another Board Game Breakfast. Lots of stuff coming this week. Like I said, folks, I'm excited. The Dice Tower has many new ideas, many plans. We got new shows that we're going to be coming out with. It's going to be a great year. Already has been a great year, and I want to thank you all for that. You're just a fantastic, wonderful audience. As always, we value your feedback. As always, I want to say thank you to the fantastic contributors who run the show this week. And until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.